Call the meeting to order. So pretty much, today we're gonna do, we haven't had a, energy and property meeting, in the last few weeks, so today we're doing it for mainly an update on the courthouse and a couple of other items that are, on the agenda. So, Osceola today, the judge and Aaron, Ruby the architect, went down, inspected the last part of the roof and the windows, and in the right time, everything looked good, and the architect has approved the final payment to complete that job.
Right.
So it's a good thing. So Osceola, we can check them off the list. They're good to go. So Blyville, on the other hand, still has a little while, still has some stuff to complete. I'm just going to kind of read you part of an email here between Aaron and the contractor on some issues that are still there. Aaron mentioned, and I guess it is the truth, the information that we get, we're only as knowledgeable as the information that we get. So here are a few things that we're still just kind of waiting on. The update and completion of the HVAC, they have found some leaks. So they're chasing down the leaks, and they will not schedule the Dakin rep to come up and start the units up until those leaks have been found. And so again, the units will, once they're started up, will operate separately, but right now but they all have to start at the same time. So the update on the reorder of the storm window. The storm windows came in, they were much too big. There's no date on that yet. So the update on the old wooden windows. Casey felt like there were 4 left on the west side of the building, and we looked at those today, and there are 4 left, but they are still probably several in some other locations that are not being completed either. And these are the old windows where, when they're saying the completion, they're restoring them, they're replacing any glass that's broken, they're putting the, they're just kind of restoring them to like new, putting the putty in some places. The ones that they have completed do look really nice. The delivery install of the large canopy on the west entrance, there's a large canopy that goes over the door. The canopy itself is here, but they cannot install it until the windows are complete. So the update on the elevator, so the elevator cannot be inspected until Ritter runs the fiber. So they've been working, trying to get Ritter scheduled for about a month now. They finally have a firm date of the 19th. And then they're pushing the fire alarm contractor to be ready on that date as well, so that they can get the elevator is imperative for the furniture installation and the filing system. For some reason they need the elevator as well. The update on the landscaping, I'm not sure if you guys have seen, but most of it has been installed, looks very nice. Just right up next to the building where the scaffolding is where it's not been completed, and there's still some dirt, so that's what you're seeing out there on that. And then the update on the marble cleaning and regrouting, it's still kind of at a standstill. So there's not really any progress with that. Other than that, I did take a couple of pictures that I'll pass around. Once upon a time, I don't know if you remember, we talked about in the circuit clerk's office where there was going to be the hanging, kind of frosted glass pictures of kind of historical things. So those are up, and they look. I mean, I was really, now the paper is still on the back of them, so when they peel them off, they will actually be kind of frosted and see-through, but they look amazing. They really, was very impressed with how those look.
They're big. I like the history on them.
And so the first floor is mainly some like how they drained the land and some agricultural history. And then the second floor, they're on the second floor as well, and those have to do with the, Air Force Base history a little bit. There's the, first woman flight instructor. I mean, they look, it really looks nice. So there is that. And you can really see I feel like the quality of them turned out, they're really, I mean, they're nice. Let's see, the marble is going up around on the new section. You can see that right there. And that's in the hallway by the staircase, and outside the new courtroom. So it's, yeah, it's, and then if you'll scroll over to the next one, is that the millwork and the, so that's, and they're putting in the millwork in the, new courtroom as well, and it looks nice. So, things are, I mean, things are being accomplished, things are moving, but it's just taking us a little bit longer than what's anticipated. I was just giving an update on the courthouse, do you have anything?
No, one thing, of course, I did notice while we were walking around, you go to the original courtroom and, it's the same, as far as speaking, especially if you speak very loudly. You walk in the new one and it's a huge room, but the technology that they use on the ceiling, the echo is about the same as it is in this room, so.
It really is, it is something, I mean, we can stand there and there's.
Yeah.
And neither, and there's not any flooring in there, yet either, so that's,
You
so,
need to bring it down more, so.
Can I add one little thing? Talking about Osceola, when I was down there, I did the punch list day. But another thing they was doing is they went to that museum and took some interesting pictures of some historic stuff for more artwork.
okay. So, it's pretty much the update. We do not, we feel like we will have to store the furniture. The furniture was gonna arrive the first week, or the Monday after Thanksgiving, and be installed, and that doesn't look like that's gonna happen. So we will store, that furniture, and we're gonna work with C&I. We feel like that will be an expense that they should pay for. So, they've had a lot of time. This date has been set for quite a while. They have plenty of opportunity to change it if they needed to, so. Other than that, everything, it's just moving along. So the site survey, I've just spoken with the judge, the site survey for the farmland is in progress. He thinks that will be, finished shortly, and then we can.
Actually, it's probably, the physical labor's probably been done, but then you have to, process it and then print it out, and, there's quite a bit of work after it, so. I will contact, them this afternoon and find out where we are.
Right, and then as you guys know, we talked about the health units, a little bit in one of the previous meetings, and I was able to visit both of those, the Blyville and the Osceola. Both, buildings I feel like are in good shape. Justice Ash looked at the one here in Blyville and was, in agreement. They are both brick buildings. The one in Blyville was built in 1990 and is approximately 10,000 square feet. And the one in Osceola was built in, I think, 97. Yeah, 97, and it's about 6,000 square feet. The one in Osceola is in better shape, than the one in Blyville. Mostly, I think, would be cosmetic, updates, maybe some, updating the lighting, package. Chris is who's in charge of them, and she's been working with the judge on some updates, and they both look, I mean, for what's been done to them, they look nice. She has kept them clean, and and I think she's painted recently. Both of them, the one in Blyville, it probably has a little bit more work to do. There's some, there's just a few things that are not working. Some of the programs have been discontinued, and they're using some space for other, for some things that may not have necessarily been designed for, so it's not working to the best of the ability. So there's a little bit of tweaking that we can do there that would make it, just function better. But the building itself, again, is in good shape. We looked at, potentially creating some covered parking or with numbered slots so that they can do a drive up or a drive through test facility. Those are, I feel like those are both things that we could probably do in the future. The parking lots also need quite a bit of work. They both, I think they may need an overlay. I don't know if we could get by with just sealing them or not. But one in Osceola has a couple of good sized, yeah, it has some potholes in it. So that'd just be, what do you?
Then we talked about the labs
Oh, that's
and,
right.
the refrigeration units, some vaccines, some of that, certainly need to be brought up today.
Right, so their labs, and they have, I believe they have kind of a layout from the state as to the equipment that the lab should, have in them and what it would take to bring them up, to kind of current standards. But yes, both of the areas where the refrigerators are and the servers both need, some sort of air unit. They're both staying pretty hot. So,
We probably need to look at updating air conditioning. I mean, the Wyville unit had 3 or 4 new air conditioners, but they had about 4 or 5 that are in excess of 20 years old. Hell, the Magar are 22 and 22 years, in about 20 years, and they're still running on 22 units. We could probably look at doing some insulation in the attic, and LED lighting would help with their utility bills. And the windows in Wyville, they need to be replaced, because you can stand outside, blow a candle out on the other side.
Oh, wow.
but they're standard size windows. They're not really unique. So again, not something that would be a huge,
Replacing with a vinyl window.
yeah, I mean,
They buy replacement windows easily.
so. Anyway, so that's the update on the health units.
Big thing with Wyville story, when you look at it, that does need to be replaced. They got a couple of places where it's come up, it looks like they had a water leak, they had a big machine that leaked water, and all the tiles peeled up. It's mainly cosmetic on that part, but there's some work that needs to be done on it. But the building themselves are in good shape.
I will tell you, I was really surprised at how good a shape the buildings were in. You know, and I was really surprised. She had a water leak down in Osceola, and if you remember correctly, we approved, she went a little bit over budget this year, but we approved to have that fixed, and then she also put some new flooring in. And it looked, I mean, it made all the difference in the one room right there. So,
She's done a fantastic job.
yeah. So, but the counters up front where, you know, the receptionists sit, those need to be replaced. Those are kind of peeling. They're just formica and they're popping up and stuff. You know, I feel like it's just natural wear and tear on a building that's about, 25 years old. So, I don't think.
The Wyville reception area, that needs to be completely reworked. The original windows were not made to be boxed in the way they are.
Yeah,
You
sure.
can't see, they can't see
Can't see
people in
it.
them.
I remember that.
And that we would at least open it up, put glass in there, and possibly tilt them so they're facing the front door, it'd probably be better.
And the good news on that is that was an afterthought. So that entire wall, it was put in after it's no load bearing, so it can come out as easily as it went in. So that'll take care of that. I don't think I have a picture of that. I was going to show you guys. Well, I guess I don't. I thought I took a picture.
Well, basically what they did was they framed in everything and put a window that opens and it faces straight out and the door's over here, so the only way they could see is if they almost stand up and look out.
Yeah, because it's a little bitty window. It's little, yeah.
Yeah.
And at one time, I guess they probably needed that many spaces. They have, but they could probably get rid of a couple of the spaces too, to kind of give some extra workspace and work it out.
And a little bit of separation.
A little bit of separation, yeah, so. But again, both of them had nice sized conference rooms that are well maintained. They both have little kitchenette type areas that, you know, need a little bit of work, but not anything major. So,
This is money from the rescue fund that we can use, especially for like
that's the magic question for Peggy.
And these for what? For the health department?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Most of the,
Did you say you were sure?
especially the HVAC. You know,
Most of
Yeah, almost sure.
most of that stuff is when you can actually relate it back to code, especially the lab. The storage of the vaccines,
Mhm.
keeping the building
Wasn't
cool.
sure
If
you had-
we update the air conditioning and get it right, we could actually fix it. Each room is air
I
conditioned.
don't know, they brought that up in the meeting yesterday.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, I'm not sure about sheriff's cars.
Everybody needs their own.
How you relate that back to COVID. You can think about that, Rick.
I gotta work on that.
I'm not touching that one.
No, it's not.
Somebody's gotta rack the pieces, remember?
Well,
I'm gonna work on that.
Tom.
I'm with you.
Well, do we need a recommendation or a motion to just kind of send that to the judge and let him decide what, if we wanna move forward or a next step on that?
yeah, I will make a motion that we should recommend to the judge that he consult with the architect about the possibility of updating our health units and possibly get some figures to see how much it would cost us.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All right, all in favor? Any opposed? All right, we will turn it over to you to start another project.
Judge Stevens through the courthouse thought he could relax. I'll fix that for him.
Yes, you know, is that what you
New
said?
project for the
Oh, yeah,
venue.
that's what I needed.
Yeah, no, you said no more. I was like, well, there may be one or two. So, okay, well, other than that, you guys, that's really pretty much everything I had. Judge, is there anything you have for us?
No. Pardon? No, I think that brings us all up to date where we are right now.
Okay, all right, anybody, Peggy, anybody?
So this, I'll go ahead and get, also we'll compile the, some of the figures on the two ambulances.
Right,
So that we can kind of build a file, a comprehensive file on what we may do in the future. At least we'll have some numbers there.
right. And I was surprised, so Chris also mentioned this to you, she has the blueprints to both buildings.
Okay,
So
good.
she has those in, there at the.
That'll help with your architect.
Immensely.
On the ambulance situation, I asked, and I'll just ask you to check it. I asked, our 911 coordinator, if he could give us a breakdown on the calls. They should have, E911 should have some type of record on as to how many calls were transferred for emergency services for ambulances for each area. And that would kind of give us some idea of what we really need. Because that, I know that, we've talked about a couple of ambulances, but there's other options that we could look at too. We do need to look at our contract with Patham. I'm not sure that it is, totally legal, according to our attorney. Because I've been doing some checking on that, so. We need to look at that before we get too far into ambulances, because those are gonna be expensive.
I definitely think, Peggy, don't you think that, if we did decide to go the ambulance route, that would certainly fall under the.
Would think so.
Very diplomatic. Well, okay, if there's not Okay,
And you
anything
can bring
else?
that book with you next time.
Then I will
Premium pay.
adjourn the meeting.
Where's the premium pay?
It is.
All right, short and sweet.